This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back. And so last session, we were discussing about the importance of pulling the logs to one place, right? So that's where we're actually going to talk about how do we, so that's where we're going to talk about how do we pull our logs to one central place, okay, using okay, so yeah, so using using Elasticsearch, we are going to, oh my god, okay, this is running now. Oh, today it ran. All right. We don't want the environment at this point of time now. So after understanding the Elasticsearch, so probably we can go with the environment. So until then, I'll just stop that particular. Okay, databases is failed, so that's where it stopped. All right, no problem. Let me go to destroy or initiate destroy. And dev create, let me stop the schedule. So every day it was happening. Whenever we need it, we'll schedule it back. Okay. So using Elasticsearch, I want to collect the logs of multiple servers and I want to keep it in one place. So how do you make it happen, or how do you do that? Okay, so that's what we're going to talk now. All right. So yeah, let's see how do you do that. Or first of all, if you understand the Elasticsearch, so you are going to have is this. Elasticsearch is a database. Okay, what kind of database it is, or if you take MongoDB database. Let's go to images. Let me show you how MongoDB stores the records like this. So you're going to have name and age, something like this. It maintains one collection, right? This is one record, this is another record, this is another record. You have 3 records here. Okay, so this is how MongoDB is actually storing the data. Okay, if you go for MySQL database or any SQL database, so how does it store the data in rows and columns, right? So these are row and columns you're having. It will just store in that way. Now, how Elasticsearch is going to store the data? Okay, so how how Elasticsearch is going to store the data is it's going to so store Elasticsearch. What it actually does? What it does actually? Okay, so let me show you with an example. Yeah. So here you are going to have some documents you are going to get. So that means every log line, whatever you get is a document. You get one document. Okay. In the document, it actually going to store, or even in fact, even you'll find out even a better way of demonstration with some other. So try to see this actually. This is how actually does. You get a document, you get a log line. This is one log line, this is one log line, this is one log line. Okay, so now what actually Elasticsearch will do here is it is going to read the words basically. It's going to read a new word. If it identifies, it actually index with a new word, and actually it stores this particular document, this log line as a document somewhere. And what it is going to do is, so whenever you are actually in the Elasticsearch, you're searching for a word called as best, and best, which all documents having best, like 2 document is having best, that log line will be printed automatically, immediately, and not, pulled immediately. Okay, So, or if you're searching for blue is 1 and 3 records you're having. So then it pulls those particular records and display you that filtered records on the UI. Okay, but in the back end, how does it actually store is it actually stores the index. It stores the documents separately, and it majorly stores is index. It majorly stores is index. Okay, so that's what you're going to have. So whenever you go for Elasticsearch, you're going to have some index database and actual log lines as well. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, so you're going to this is how actually the Elasticsearch actually stores in the database. It actually keeps the log lines, all right, and as well as majorly it generates it generates the continuous index on top of them. Okay, it does indexing. Indexing is always faster. Indexing is always faster. You go to your Windows and you start typing, a file name. Automatically, it grabs you the file name so fast. Okay, how because it is, it actually goes with index. It goes with index. Okay, so that's the thing you have. Or even the find command in your operating system, right? So let me show you. If you go to the workstation, you already know the find command. But the find command, if you ask find command, to mm, yeah. So sudo find slash hyphen iname. So let's say password. So you're actually getting it from. So it just took some time. Okay. So if you ask for how much time it takes, it actually tells that it actually took 0.7 seconds. Okay. Now there is an alternate way of searching as well, indexing. So sudo yum install mlocate. Okay, so which is nothing but an indexing based of searching, and I will do the index for one time. Okay, so sudo update db. Don't worry about this. I just want to show you the differences. Now here locate password. You give this, and it is giving much more information, and as well as if you look for the time for the processing it, actually taking it in 0.3 seconds. How this actually search is faster? This search is faster because it's actually coming from the index. So that means you create a new file also, this index will not find out unless until you update the index. Okay, so something like that. Okay, so indexing is always faster in terms of searching. While you're searching, your index is always indexing is the concept which generally you have to use. Okay, if your actually concept is searching. Now with Elasticsearch, what you do all the time is searching. Okay, so all the time you will be doing is searching. So that's where, so Elasticsearch is an indexing database which you have. Okay, so and we'll be using the same database here. All right, so let's go to and take a server, or let's understand the components of Elasticsearch. Basically not Elasticsearch components, but basically and the Elastic Stack. Basically what are the components which are involved in Elastic Stack? Okay, I want to talk about those particular things first. So let me just do that. Give me 1 second. Okay, all right. So let me just go to Elasticsearch. Yeah. So Elasticsearch is the database, but actually individually database you cannot use it. So it requires some other components to parse your logs and to search your logs and things like that. So to collect your logs and those particular things. And so those things are actually called as Elastic Stack, ELK stack. Okay, E stands for Elasticsearch. L stands for Logstash, which actually going to parse the logs. Parse means it's actually going to do some kind of conversion of the conversion of the logs and things like that. Conversion in the sense conversion of the format and things like that. And the next one which you have is Kibana. So K for Kibana, which is an interface, UI interface for the user to search the logs. And whereas a Beats is the one, so which is going to collect the logs from different servers. In every server, you're going to install a Beat software and that actually collect the logs. So these are the different components which you have here in ELK stack. Okay, so yeah, so let's go and try to so set up these particular components and we'll go with it. So if you see into the so if you actually see the logs basically, so then yeah, if you see the structure basically, so this is how it looks like. So the users are actually going to use a Kibana UI to search the logs and actually talks to the Elasticsearch. And there are different FileBeat softwares actually. FileBeat runs on different systems and actually collect the logs and push it to a Logstash, and from Logstash actually converted some unstructured data to structured data and put it to Elasticsearch. Okay, so that's how we're going to do. And I already shown you, the same image I think out there. So multiple documents, how we're actually going to do the logs. But when it comes to the logs actually, so there are two types of logs we have. So one is structured data and the other one is unstructured data. Okay, so we have certain applications there. We have Nginx, we have Nginx, we have so we have front end, we have catalog, card, all different components out there. So every component having certain components are having structured data, some components are not having unstructured data. So what is this? Structured data and unstructured data is? So if any log line is actually coming as in a JSON format, so that is called as structured data. Okay, if any logs are coming in a plain lines, that's unstructured data. Okay, so now what actually we wanted, I mean, in today's world, for modern applications, we always go with the structured data. We'll not go with the unstructured data. For modern applications in today's world, we always go with structured data, so not with the unstructured data. Okay, but whatever it is, even our application is comprising some structured data, some unstructured data, but we'll deal with both. All right, so yeah. So what is the difference between unstructured log and less operation cost? So that means you don't require running your Logstash component. You get rid of the Logstash component, and it is much faster basically. Okay, and so much faster. And Logstash actually breaks all the time. If there is a problem with one log, okay, so it will not pass with the remaining logs as well. There's a pain in Logstash actually involved. Okay, so that goes with less operation cost, and Logstash can be avoided as mentioned. So means we get fast pushing the so because Logstash is lazy out there. Adding new fields in the log file avoids updating or restarting the services. So if there is a new field got added, okay, if I don't use structured data, if I'm using unstructured data, then it starts breaking, and I have to update my structure once again in the Logstash. So this is the expected structure. So that's the problem which you always face with Logstash. Okay, just to avoid that Logstash, structure logging is a quite important thing. Like people are nowadays using structure logs. Okay, So unstructured logs. Okay, so operations is harder. Log stash crashes in every is a very common issue. Like log stash crashing is a very common issue we face. It stuck hunks. It will not get any logs. You have to go back and troubleshoot. You get a chance of losing some logs. All these things will be there, and it's also very greediness towards the memory. It requires a lot of memory. Okay, so which is a costly basically. And log stash is too slow to parse. Like at least if you go for what is that? Vector. Vector.dev, so it's also another parser basically. It directly compares with other vendors basically. If you see the so if you actually see the file to TCP, so how much time that different guys actually takes is in probably some in I mean to say like so in some test case, so they're showing you that it is TCP to history, TCP to file to TCP only. That's what you do with the Logstash. When you do with the Logstash, you see this. What is the Logstash performance? It's actually doing 3.1 MB of collection of the data, whereas others are actually collecting in a much faster way. Or you take Vector, it's actually collecting 76 MB of data. Okay, which these guys actually claim themselves as a fastest parser software, which is available. Okay, so I also didn't try it, but yeah, so they claim that they're the fastest guys. Okay, so yeah, but just look into the factors basically there. So so Logstash is too poor basically, right? So always change in the log pattern causes, if the developer is putting a new value in the log line, everything starts breaking. Okay, so that's the problem with the unstructured data. So which ultimately we don't want that particular headache with Elasticsearch. So that's where the developers are actually kind of developing these with structured data only. Okay, so now when it comes to our application, so our application, the components which we have is front end, shipping and payment. Front end, shipping and payment are front-end shipping and payment are unstructured logs, which we are going to parse with the Logstash. And whereas cart, catalog, and user, we can directly talk to, we can directly push to Elasticsearch, and we can avoid that. Okay, so this is what the scenario which I want to bring it up. Okay, but before to that, we need to talk about what all the options and all we have. But yeah, so this is the final approach for our application. We're going to make it. Okay. So the installation can be done in all in one node or all in multiple nodes basically. So the Elasticsearch, you can install Kibana in one node, Elasticsearch in another node, Logstash in another node, different nodes also we can use, or even there is a cluster setup actually, a cluster structure or production grade cluster which is available, like how many instances you have to maintain and things like that for Elasticsearch. Okay, Elasticsearch is a too costly service also. Okay, so that means it will not work with small instances. You need some bigger instances all the time. Okay, keep in mind, but I'll not go with the production grade cluster. If you want production grade cluster, so yeah, so there is a documentation directly from available from the Elasticsearch web pages, so you have to follow that. Okay, so or ultimately you're going to have this one Elasticsearch. You're going to have master nodes, multiple nodes, ingest nodes, data nodes. These are all the different components which the Elasticsearch is actually having it, which you will not see that because we are not going with the high availability cluster basically. Okay, all right, and so we'll just start with how do we set it up and how do you use it up. All right, so here I will go to, so I'll go with the launch an instance, and I need a bigger instance by the way here, and I'll go to community MIs. I need a bigger instance type to make it at least faster. I'll go with Xlarge, T3 Xlarge, but I'll take a spot instance. Configure instance details, request spot, and I want it as a persistent. Yeah. If you go for 1F, it is much cheaper. So I will choose a subnet which is of 1F. Okay. So yeah. Right. So add storage, add tags. Name is LK machine. Configure security group. And here it is. Allow all. Oh, I didn't change that. Okay. So here. So T3X large. I chosen the spot request, and actually I chosen a persistent request. Here I have to put like stop if I keep a persistent. Yeah. So then I'm choosing 1F just to get for minimal cost. You can go to the elastic.co and okay, go to the products, go to the view all products, and so go for download elastic products, and you can download any of the product. Like let's say you go with Elasticsearch, click on download, you get the with this one RPM. So Linux 64-bit copy link address, and you can install it. Rather than doing this, we have LabAuto there, so which we are actually taking care of installation and as well as some minimal configuration which is needed. So if you want really, so you can just go ahead and read about tools, and you go to the ELK, and you can go to install.sh. So there is quite simple things which are added out there to install it. So it is yum installing Elasticsearch, yum install Kibana, okay, and yum install Logstash. So all these three components are getting installed. And also I'm keeping some configuration for your logstash.conf file. And also I'm updating some configuration somewhere in the elasticsearch.yml file, okay, so to make it work. And I'm just restarting all the services. That's it, nothing more than that. Okay, so I will just try to use that particular script. Set host names, I'll say it as LK-SU hyphen and disable auto shutdown also I will give. Yeah, so now LabAuto. And you want the LK, so 8 to 1 you want. So this log stash failure is not a deal. You can ignore that, but why it actually is failing is a concern. Installing log stash only it's failing. Let's rerun. Now again failed to start log stash service. Okay, that's okay. Log stash is not a big deal. We can look into that. So Elasticsearch. Um, yeah. All right. Now I will take some machines. I'll start pumping the logs to the Elasticsearch. Like how do I pump the logs? So we'll see um, in setting up some servers and all we do that. Okay. So let's go to launch instance. And I go to the please go with this. And I can go for a spot instance. So now over here, so I need to install some software. Like let's say I want to push the logs of, so like certain logs like cd/var or vam/var logs messages. I want to send these particular logs out there. So then what I have to do is I have to install something called as a file beat here. Okay, so I'll go to file beat. So let's go back and look for beats, download, and just click on file beat because you're actually pumping the log files. And then I will go to RPM 64-bit, copy link address, and then go and give yum install this one. Okay, file bit is installed. So systemctl, or before starting it, okay. One second. Yeah. So before starting the service, I would like to go and give I would like to go and give a configuration file. So vam/etc file beat and then file beat.yml file. Okay, so here you have to tell which log lines you want to push. Okay, so here enabled is given as false, and I want to go and say that it is true. All right. And here, which log file? I want to ship only one log file, messages. All right. So I had to tell that, and that's it. And when it comes to the Elasticsearch, when it comes to the Elasticsearch, I want to pump the logs to the Elasticsearch. So how do I, if I come to the outputs, if I come bit down, yeah. So here is the Elasticsearch output. So where is the location of Elasticsearch? It's actually taking this one. So I will just go and say that next -lndb. So here actually it's already open and IP space EA. So I will take this IP address and so and save and quit systemctl restart file bit. This file bit actually going to ship the logs. So tail-f/var log messages. Okay, so this actually going to ship the logs into Elasticsearch. Now on the Elasticsearch, you can start seeing the logs. And the one what I'm doing, let me go to the Elasticsearch UI. Go to the UI. So this is the Kibana dashboard. Kibana usually comes on 5601 port number, but actually I'm actually reverse proxying it. Kibana is on 5601 port only. But actually, I'm doing a reverse proxy with Nginx so that I can just see it. So this is your dashboard. Now, did you really got the logs or not? You can go to here. Here you go to the stack management, and you go to the index management, and you will start seeing some indexes which already came up. I mean, since it started receiving the logs, it started making the indexes, and the index is this one. And you can see this, there are 1626 lines, and the same lines actually you will see something related to this one. Okay, 1627 lines. Okay, so 16. So if you try to refresh, you will see 1627 lines. So those lines are actually no, so every line is being pushed here. And if you want to search them, so what you have to say is you have to go to the index pattern, and you have to create one pattern. Like, so I just want to say create an index pattern. So the index is starting with the file bit name, right? Create index pattern. So I'll give file bit star. So it actually taking these two logs, whatever it is. It's an alias one, and it's an actual index. That's okay. So click on next, and you choose timestamp. Every log line at timestamp will be added. You go with the index pattern. Okay. So now if you want to see the logs, so on the left side, you go to the discover, and you will see the index here. So file bit star, and you start seeing those particular logs here. So now the logs are first one time actually it ships so many logs, 1622 logs, and after that, every timestamp it's continuously pushing the logs here. Okay, so this is how you start shipping the logs, but there are a lot of problems actually in this particular scenario. Okay, so what are the logs, or what are the scenarios here? Okay, so this log actually is coming up in a unstandard format. So so the log line is just like this. So it is completely indexed just like this. Okay, so now if you want to search for a word very particularly saying that so here so the service whichever is offering generating this log is file bit, you cannot do that. Okay, so so how do you do that? All right, so that's so that's something that Logstash will be doing. All right, so so let's go and talk about so how Logstash is actually going to parse these particular logs. But these var log messages I'm not interested, so I will go with, let's say I will just install Nginx, and I want to say that I want to parse Nginx logs or something useful basically. Or you can also do this as well, no problem. Let's do this only. So this log line should be kept in some format in Logstash. How do you do that? You take this log line, you take this whole log line, and you're going to make some pattern out of that, a very common pattern that matches with every log out of that. Okay, so how do you do that? So that we'll try to see it now. So the next one which we're going to talk about here is a Logstash, and in Logstash, so how do you do that particular thing? So let's go and see it. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so first thing, I am going to take this log, and you can generate the patterns by using grok debug.heroku app. Logstash uses different plugins, and out of them, Logstash can use a lot of plugins, and out of them, so which we are going to use here is a Grok. Okay, so Grok is one of the plugin which it does and which helps you in converting a plain line into a formatted line. So that's where a Grok pattern I'm going to use now. So in the Grok pattern, so what I'm going to say here is Grok pattern. What I'm going to say here is so this is the pattern, right? So here you have some, this is a full pattern basically, and over here you have some patterns. Let me open a new window. Okay, now the first keyword, first word, what it is denoting. The first word is denoting that it is a month, right? So you will find out some month actually Grok patterns on the left side if you go for, and you will find out something related to the month. Okay, so month number, month day. Okay, month basically. Month is the one so which matches with the January or Jan. Okay, so month is the one so which is expected. So that's where I will say that here it is percentile month. So then automatically it should identify that month actually. So it should no, yeah. So automatically identifying a month, and it is telling that it is a February. Okay, it is February. And the next one which you have is month date. Okay, so month date today is February 1, you got 1. So tomorrow it is 11, like 10th it is 10, double digit will come. So that means now, as of now, there are 2 spaces. So tomorrow when it actually, okay, go with double digit, it comes with single space only. So that is the logic I had to make it something out here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is the next one is percentile, some space. How many spaces doesn't really matter. So search for some space. Okay, so you search for, you can give a word called as space. So some spaces are there. Okay, so some spaces are there, so spaces came. And after that, so what is the one you have is month day. Okay, so month day is first. And after that, so what you have timestamp, the timestamp of hour, minute and second. All right, so percentile, what is that? Hour, right? So hour. I know those keywords, and that's why I'm actually giving it directly. So hour, colon, percentile, seconds, okay, and colon, no, minute and second, right? Percentile, minute. Okay, so hour, minute, second. So it picked up that particular one, and after that you got a host name of the server. Okay, so percentile, and I'll just give a host name. Okay, so you got the host name as this one, and after that you're getting some word. Okay, what is this word? So percentile word only. Whatever is the word, we'll talk about that. Okay, so this is the word. Okay, so the word actually taken as file bit, and after that, so you have some colon and then space. So you have the complete log. This is the complete log. Okay, this log is the leftover data. So that's where I will say it is 3D data. Okay, so you got the complete log line inside here. Okay, these are the fields I want to send it out. Okay, now this is the month. I want to give my own name, so I can just go and give, so month is the one I am saying. Okay, month is the one I'll say, and spaces are, that's okay, you can ignore, and actually it's gonna be month day, and actually it's gonna be colon hour, and then minute, and then second. This is the host name, and finally log message. Okay, and this file, this word is actually service name. All right, a log message. Okay, so this is the different things which you have. All right, and just go with this is the pattern. Okay, now I have to go to the log stash and say that, hey, all my log lines are actually going to come in this particular pattern. All right, so how do you do that? So let me take this. take this line and I'll go and say that here vim/etc log stash. So that log stash seems didn't install. Okay. Yeah, so something it is actually failing. Okay, that's fine. At least now it is installed. /etc log stash conf.d. I can just give sample.conf file. Okay, so in the log stash, so what I'm going to do is log stash in the log stash. What we have to give is input bits. So where are actually taking the input from? Input you are actually taking from bits, right? So file bit you're taking from the input from the file bit. So that's where I'm going to say that bits input is this and Elasticsearch output is this. Okay. Okay, fine. So input you are taking and output you're sending. Okay, but you have to massage the data in between. So that's where the grok plugin will come into picture. Okay, so grok filter log stash. The grok filter log stash. So this is the one you have, and how do you provide is so something like this. This is a filter you are going to add. So one filter you added is grok, and the message is going to match like this. And how it's actually it goes. Where is the pattern? Here is the pattern. Just take this, go here, paste our pattern. Okay, log lines are coming in this way. So systemctl restart log stash and tail hyphen f / var log stash cd / var log stash. Slowly the log will come. Yeah, tail hyphen f log stash hyphen plain.log. So here it should not say any kind of errors. Here it should not say any kind of errors. All right. So it's fine. So now I have to tell to my file bit that don't send it to Elasticsearch by default. Okay, so let's comment out the Elasticsearch output. So let's send it to so let's send it to Logstash. Okay, cool. So systemctl restart. Sorry, file bit. It's actually saying that its connection has been established. Okay, so it is pushing the log. Now Logstash is actually pushing the log to our Elasticsearch. Let's go to Elasticsearch and go to stack management, go to index management. So now you're getting, let me delete this. So let's generate some logs. So systemctl is yeah. Now you're getting the logs, like 47 logs, you got it. All right. And now you go to index patterns. Yeah, you already have file bit. Now let's go there and let's take an overview. Discover. Why? Let me remove the index pattern and create again. Index patterns. Let's or just delete this or just try to refresh to get the refresh new fields. And what are the fields we added? Like, you see this log message, minute, post name, all these fields you are getting it. All right, let's go to the discover now, and it will show you those particular logs. Okay, now my point over here in the searching here is, if I want to search any log line which is coming in the name of service name is FileBit, I can start looking. I can start searching them. Okay, so on the left side you will be having these patterns basically. If you look for a service name, you will be having the service name. You click on plus, it will go for the search name. So all the log lines, and you're looking for the file name of service bit. Or if you have multiple fields actually available here, it's actually you're having the file bit and systemd. So I'm looking for only systemd logs. Just click on plus. So now it will tell you. So the search is actually happening. The service name which is equal to systemd. Those log lines only it will show you. Okay, so that's the importance of having that particular keys. Whatever we made it through Logstash, right? That's quite important. Okay, so yeah, those keys comes up automatically if you use the structured logging. The structured logging, if you use, you'll get it automatically. So that's the idea, and this is how we actually ships the logs. And in the Logstash, you're going to write some pattern, and based on that, we are going to do it. Okay, so in the very high level, this is what you do generally. Okay, but now a little bit more complex things comes into picture. I will talk about that. But first of all, I want to show you how structured logging is going to work. Okay, so how structured logging works. We can take our own example only, right? So we can go with setting up repos. RS catalog. Node.js or yum install Node.js will work, right? So yum install Node.js. Or like let's say cd rs hyphen catalog ls and or why do I clone these basically? So rm hyphen rf rs hyphen catalog. So we have some shell scripting, right? I'll just use shell scripting. Way to do it manually. So shell scripting, we already have some process over there. So just quickly can do it. cd shell scripting ls cd project ls sh. So make file. So make space. So like let's say catalog. Yeah, cool. So now tail hyphen f slash var log messages, you will see the log lines coming up from the catalog cells. But you see this is actually coming in the structured log, and I don't want this unnecessary information which is added here. Okay, so I don't want this unnecessary information getting added here. I don't want it at all. I don't want it at all. Okay, and also I'm clubbing my my application log also with the system log. It's actually becomes a, you see this catalog is coming in between, again file bit came. It becomes a mess up. It really becomes a mess up in dealing with this. So that's the reason I want to put my application log to a whole separate new file. Okay, how do I do that? Yes, you can do that. You can tell to the system that, hey, if any application log which is coming to the catalog, can you make it in a separate file? Yes, it can do that. How do you do that? So you have to tell it in the format of vm/etc syslog.d. So you have to, like, let's say there are already some logs, so you can open it. So there is some information which is added here. So like the same way, so I'm going to add a roboshop.conf file as well. I'm going to add roboshop.conf file. So what is the rule I have to add it here is any log lines which is coming in the format of, or any log lines is coming with catalog, I have to I would like to go with that. Okay, so how can I tell that is I can just go here, go to the wiki. I already added somewhere. No, here only I usually add. No. Or syslog. So here is the one I wanted to say. Okay, so I just made it for a whole program. Okay, so even I can just take you this to our one, and I will say wiki. I usually send it as here only. So page syslog. So this is the whole configuration. So what is this configuration is telling that is, so you print only message, don't add that, timestamp or something like whatever the var log messages is doing, don't do that. So there's a template name, you're actually making only message, okay? And how the message look like or how your, message line look like is, so just give message directly. And so this is some syntax, actually, even I don't know what internally does. I just found it from their RCS documentation, like keep it over here. After printing the message, it's going to end up with new line. So that's what it is telling. If any program name is equal to catalog, how your program name is actually catalog. So the program name is a catalog. It is given in cat/etc system/catalog.service file. So here syslog identifier is there, right? Log identifier. So that is actually catalog. Now this program name, which is the identifier which is coming as catalog, then put the log in varlog catalog.log file and use the template of only message. That's it I'm doing. Okay. So I will just take this here. I'm going to keep it here and just give systemctl restart syslog. Okay. So ls-log/var log catalog.log file. So now if you see the log file, tail-have this one, so actually getting in a proper JSON format. Now I had to tell to my file bit that, hey, file bit, you pick this particular log and actually you pick this particular log and you actually what you have to do here is so this is a JSON format. You have to tell to your file bit. So systemctl top file bit. So vim/etc file bit and then file bit.file. So here, what is the log file name now? So it's actually var log catalog.log file. Catalog.log file. Okay. And so over here, I have to tell that this is actually coming in a JSON format. Okay. JSON in file bit. So you have to give certain options there. So stating this is a JSON Yeah, so these are the two things which you need to add, basically saying that, so it is actually, the JSON keys are available. Okay, so which I'm going to add here. So what I'm telling is JSON keys under root is true. And so JSON add error key is also not needed actually. So you can say that JSON keys under root is true. Okay, so 7-bit. And now you don't need to send the logs to Logstash. You can send directly to Elasticsearch. Logstash, you really no need to do this. And again, I'll come back and comment it out. So, and I will just come here. You do it. Do it. Okay. So this much. Sound good. Systemctl restart file bit and then tail-f/var log messages. So it's actually telling the file bit is having some problem. Yeah. But let's see, is there any log which you are getting to get? Yeah, whenever you enable certain things, yeah, it's not really working, but let's see. It will not work as expected, I think, but go to the stack management, index management. No, there are so many log lines actually which came, but those are not really coming. Or if I just try to delete index, this one. Okay. Now what additionally I had to do is, when you enable this, so you have to enable more configurations. When you enable JSON, it's not as simple as that. You just need to enable a little bit more configuration. So what you need to do is, it is clearly throwing you the error. So what is the error you're getting is you have to enable some index lifecycle management to something. Okay, so let me show you that. So vim/etc file bit and then file bit dot YAML file. So here, so certain components need to enable, or what is the right word actually for me to search in the internet here is enable custom index name file bit. Change the index name. Yeah, this is the documentation I had to do. So this is what you need to do. Output.elasticsearch index name I had to give. Output.elasticsearch. Output Elasticsearch is already given, so then index I had to give. So Elasticsearch. Yeah. Output Elasticsearch you already gave, and all I need to give is some index name. Okay, like this. Index name is catalog. Okay, so you're going to send it, but immediately you're not done. Basically you need to enable these options. So like setup, there is one option. So setup will be there. Yeah, you see this setup template.settings. What actually it is telling is setup.template.name and setup.template.pattern. Okay, so here you have to give that particular catalog name. You have given that catalog. So catalog. Okay. So save and quit and systemctl. You will see all these configurations in through automation. We'll come back again. Just I want to talk about the concept here. So restart and then. So somewhere ILO something is enabled. You need to give it as somewhere false. What it is telling, which is enabled as a true, is okay. Now it is saying at least the log pattern is pushed. So still you are getting in the name of file bit. No, that is okay, but still. Here, if you see this ILM is enabled, so somewhere in the log configuration, it is still saying it is enabled. Okay, I don't remember the exact option. Let me pull it from the previous doc or somewhere. I'll go to repos. Let me search in Ansible. We'll find it out. Roles, file bit, templates, file bit.yml file. So this I had to setup.enabled setup.enable dot. Okay. So enable, I have to give it as false, I think. That's the main important one. Okay. Also this also I think is needed. Okay, that's not there. So I'll also enable that also. Yeah, now you're getting in the name of catalog. Now you go to the index patterns and you have to go with the catalog change index pattern. So catalog start, next, put the timestamp, index pattern. It's actually catalog now, and you will see the logs of the catalog. In the last 15 minutes, you are not getting anything. So no, it's actually some such is there. Yeah, you got these logs, and you can see these logs are actually coming in the proper fields. Automatically, those fields are getting cut it out. You see this? So the message is there automatically, error, Mongo network error. Okay. So so if I just go into tail-f/var log catalog.log file, and so the log level is error. Okay, the level is error. You see this? The level is error. The keys automatically is being identified. If it's a structured logging, the keys automatically identifies. If there is something else also, like let's say systemctl restart catalog, and so you see this, the new logs came in, like the message is started on 8080, the log level is info. Okay, so if you want the log level to be filtered, so you have to go to the level here and you start filtering this, and you click on level. So you have only errors for now, just wait, you will see more logs coming in, and you will see more. Yeah, you got more logs now, and if I just go and give level, okay, it's still having error. We just need to wait for indexing to happen. It's actually giving the indexing is question mark. If you see, it's a question mark. Okay, so it's coming, it's not really coming in a proper way, which I mean it's coming in a proper way. You just need to wait for some time. The index should happen. Okay, so stack management, if you go there, if you go to the index patterns, and if you go to the file bit, I'll again refresh once just to let it load the new fields also coming in, and go to the discover. You refresh the index pattern, so it identifies the new lines also, whichever it is coming up, and it starts it starts identifying them. So now you can see this, the level is most of the time it's actually showing 100% only. Okay, so that's okay. So like, I mean, that's okay here. You can also search here, like let's say, what is the search I want to make it? Add filter. So level is equal to info save. We don't have any logs actually came in. I don't know why, because we have some level info logs. How come? Or let me install Mongo. CD shell scripting CD. Robot shop. Okay, so VIM/etc systemd, then system slash catalog.service, the Mongo URL rather than Mongo, I will say it is actually localhost. Localhost. Okay. System cdl daemon-reload and system cdl restart a catalog where log catalog.log file. So now you're getting Mongo connected also message, all our info now. I just want to search in this now. Refresh. This is bad. Now, since the new fields are coming, I just want to go to the stack management once again. I just want to go for index patterns, go to the catalog, and I just want to refresh this once. So see why I'm doing the refresh is, so here this logline is in different format and this logline is in different format. So that means actually it's not really in different format. I think the same keys are there. Message is message, hostname is hostname, PID is PID, time is time. I think all fields are same. It's no need of refresh also. If there is any new fields coming up, then yes, you should be able to. Fine, let me just see this. Or what are the log lines actually which came at the last time? 852. Okay, so date here. Okay, so E Z is equal to $859. All right. What is this 859 and why I'm getting only till 852? Why after I didn't got any logs? Systemctl status file bit. It's running tail -f/var log messages. Invalid JSON character, it's failing. Okay, that's okay. So invalid JSON character is failing. But how about other logs? Here in this catalog log line, I mean catalog log, there is some log line which is coming up here. So deprecated warning, current server discovery, undefined topology true to the MongoDB connect. Something you're getting. So due to that, is actually destroying some error. That's okay. Due to that, you're not getting any lines. That's bad. Or even I wanted to enable one more line. VIM/etc file bit and then filebit.yml. Okay, so let me look in the configuration here. So what I mentioned is under keys is root true. I think message key is message. So this also is an important thing might be. Okay, so JSON message key is message key. Restart file bit. Messages. So I just restarted catalog service that generates some log in the log lines of that one. So now it is telling so it's actually connected, and so it's still telling there is some invalid character. If there is some invalid character, it's going to stop parsing the remaining lines. I thought it will continue. Wish. No. That's really not doing anything. So this invalid character is coming, due to that we are getting that error. Okay, so like let's say if I want to disable that, so then how do I do that? So I need to find it out. So cat/tmp, no, cat/etc systemd, and then system, and then catalog.service file. So if you are just trying to do this, export, you do this, and you just run this. Now I don't want this particular deprecation warning, right? So Node.js ignored deprecation warning. So I have to find out Node.js ignored deprecation warning, or disable deprecation warning in, not in JavaScript, right? Yeah, Node.js JavaScript console. So no deprecation. Okay, so you have to run this, and if I run that, that message is not coming. So now remove rm-f/var log catalog.log file. You remove that. So systemctl restart file bit and vim/etc systemd, and then system, and then catalog or service file. So here you need to add that particular deprecation message option. Okay, right? Do it. So systemctl restart, not restart, daemon-load deal-f/messages. Okay, it's been shipping now, so try to refresh. How come we're not getting anything? Oh, catalog log didn't came. How come? Yeah, so system, I removed it, right? So systemctl restart or sys log slash var log. It will create a log and the systemctl restart catalog. Yeah, now 2 lines has been picked up. So now you see this harvester starting for the log line, a log file, which is var log catalog.log, and connection to SW, connection to Elasticsearch is fine. It puts the logs. Okay. So now try to refresh. You will see at least some log lines. I'm a bloody idiot. Actually, I'm looking in the wrong one. I was supposed to look into the catalog of it. Yeah, so even though earlier also it was coming fine actually, even though without that message and all also, I mean that JSON error message, all that is coming, that's fine. So now you see these 2 log lines which just came out. Okay, so yeah, it's working fine. So now all you need to understand is, so there are 2 types of logs generally comes up. So which is structure logging and unstructured logging. If it is structure logging, you will not have much work, and so will not be a problem. And whereas if you have unstructured logging, the log stash, dealing with the log stash is a pain. But we have some pain components. We have shipping component, we have payment component. Okay, so we have front end, which is also an unstructured logging. So we'll deal with those. Okay, so one by one. So tomorrow we'll just start with Ansible and start automating this particular effort. We will go and manually create our Ansible servers, and we will ensure that everything is working fine. Then we will go with so then we'll go with so embedding the full infra. Okay, but first with Ansible, I'm able to pull the logs from different components or not. So we'll talk about that. So in Ansible, so you probably get more templating options. Okay, since until now we didn't got an option of automating end to end, so that's where that's where you didn't got much templates, but now you get a templating language a little bit more. Okay, and you will see that options now. And yeah, so I think that's fine. So we'll start so dealing more ELK with our project based approach rather than so just understanding now. Okay, so the whole concept is going to be is, so you're going to have structure logging, unstructured logging. If it is structure logging, you directly push it to Elasticsearch, that's fine. And if it's unstructured logging, so you have to push it to Logstash, and you structure it with the keys and whatever you have. Okay, so then okay, so then you get the logs. Okay, so that's the thing, that's a process basically. The Elasticsearch and Kibana still remains it. I think that's all from my side for today. Any questions? So today, whatever the configuration, we made it on the file bit. So file.yml. So we just keep it there for reference. tomorrow we'll refer this file if needed. Yeah. Okay, all right. So we'll see in tomorrow's session then. Thank you. See you tomorrow.